So up next we have representing Ireland, it is Mr. Chris Brady in his R32 Skyline RB25 under the bonnet. Not many of them knocking around here, as we see Chris doing a great job now, putting it lovely and wide. Chris having a bad morning, he only got 2 practice laps in and he sheared all the bolts in the drive shaft, tirelessly running around, got helped out by some local drivers, and now he's out here putting on a show, the Irish champion, absolutely sticking it on the perfect qualifying line. As we hear that RB25 screaming underneath the bonnet. A little bit different than all the rest of the 2JZs we're hearing out here, but Chris Brady, Chris scored an 80 on his first run, throwing it in wild. Listen to the screams of that RB25. Not many of them on the grid this weekend. In fact, it's the only one. And Chris Brady doing a great job controlling that R32 Skyline. So yeah, an 80 on his first run. It's going to be interesting to see what way he scores it, but this is looking a lot better from Chris Brady as he tucks the back wheel right on that line. Nice transition, nice and deep through the second last clipping point, filling that last outer zone as he comes around the last corner, bringing it out to the wall. Let's see what happens, but yeah, Chris Brady to lead, Hussein Mislani to chase. Both guys tearing it down. Chris Brady throwing it in, the only RB25 on the grid this weekend. Hussein late initiation, Chris Brady washing wide. See Hussein now tucking right there beside him, but practically driving straight. This is a scrappy run from both guys. Hussein looks like them steering issues have followed him again as he's touching Chris Brady, a little over rotation there. And yeah, Chris Brady bringing that Skyline right out to the wall. A very sloppy start to the run from both guys, but Chris Brady holding it out, connecting the dots and bringing that R32 Nissan Skyline over. Both cars leave the line. Hussein in the Corvette, Chris Brady in the 32 Skyline. Here we go. Oh, Hussein initiates wide. I don't know where he was going. I'm sure Chris Brady was thinking the exact same thing, but Hussein does a good job now to hold that car on track. Chris Brady just sitting back ever so slightly. Hussein clipping cones, driving over them. Very unfortunate. He's putting down all the power to try and get away from the Irishman, but Chris Brady with the wealth of experience is like, look, I know he's spun, I'm going to just stick behind him here. I'm going to stay there but not too close just in case. Yeah, another tough battle for our judges to call. And away they go. Chris Brady lead, Eggers to chase. This is it. As they come down now, big initiation from Chris, but Eggers is right there with him. Chris Brady's on a lovely lead line now, hugging that outer line, but look at Eggers. He is stuck to the side of that R32 Skyline as the transition for the first time through the inner clip, pushing wide. Eggers is right there with Chris Brady. Chris Brady's on a perfect lead line, putting the back wheel exactly where the judges want it. As we see them now coming through, transitioning for the last time, bit of a dab of the handbrake. Chris Brady just to settle the car as he lines up for the last outer zone, but he cannot shake. Eggers up, touching that goes green, and away they go. Eggers to lead, Chris Brady to chase. Chris Brady is absolutely pinned. He was nearly ahead of Eggers there. He knows he has a power difference, or advantage should I say, but look at this. Eggers on a lovely line now. Chris Brady doing anything he can to stay in the fight. Unfortunately just dropping back ever so slightly, getting it a small bit wrong through that inner clip there, which gives Eggers a bit of room. Chris Brady's putting foot to floor now, trying to keep up with him, but no, it's just like he got lost in the smoke, or something's after going wrong. Not 100% sure what happened there, but Chris Brady shuts it down as he comes up to the first wall run, and Eggers takes it over the line and will around the track yet again. And away he goes. The current Irish Drift champion leaves the line for his first qualifying run, as we see Chris Brady now throwing it in. Lovely initiation from Chris Brady, nice and wide, right on that outer line now as he fills that first zone. So you see Chris now tucking the nose of that Skyline in into the inner clip, transitions back to the wall, or sorry, to outer zone 2. Doing a nice job here now is Chris Brady as he comes back through the centre section, flicking back, putting the rear of the car out to the wall. Huge backfire from that RB as we see Chris now filling the last outer zone around the last corner and over the finish line. What can Chris Brady do? Thumbs up from the start line, Marshall. Here he goes. Chris Brady leaves the line, coming tearing down. Listen to that RB25 screaming, throwing it in. Lovely and wide from Chris Brady as we see him now putting that rear wheel perfectly out on that outer line. This is exactly what we were expecting from the Irish champion as he comes through now, transitions back huge stall up with foot on the limiter. Absolutely singing that RB through outer zone 2 as he comes up now to transition for the last time. Gets into the wall, not as deep on the wall as we'd like to see, but filling outer zone 3. Listen to the clutch kicks, listen to the RB screams, he brings it over the line. As we're about to find out, as we see both guys leave the line, looking like Samir has got the clutch issue fixed in that car. Chris Brady coming down, throwing that skyline in fairly hard, watching wide, massive contact on initiation. Samir Sabah hitting Chris Brady, putting him into a spin. Brady very lucky not to go into the wall. Samir unfortunately though going in head first. You see the helmet off, get the run done. That is drifting at its finest. But here we go, advantage Samir. Is that car working right? He's he's in the wall again. What? Chris Brady avoids him, does a great job and keeps it going. I would not want to be a judge in that one. Maybe the mechanical damage not working out. Listen to the RB scream of Chris Brady as he finishes off this lap. That is a very, very awkward scenario for our judges as we see Chris Brady now coming out to the last corner over the minute Samir came out with a chicane. It looked to me that Brady will advance to the top 16 in that RB25 or 32 Skyline. As you see, much faster initiation from Chris this time. Maybe talking with his pit buddy James Dean, going, Jim, what would you do in this scenario, or what way? You know, it's always good to have a guy like that over here with you. As we see that absolutely fantastic cabling job, Chris Brady's output in front of the car. I wonder who did that. As we see him now coming around the back, out to the wall. It's not a bad run from Chris Brady. If he was qualified, it'd be a nice high scoring run as he brings it over the line. Man on the mission this weekend. He is coming back for that top spot. Chris Brady is just here to have fun. What's going to happen when both cars leave the line? The Ham to lead Brady to chase. The Ham throwing it in nice and deep. Chris Brady's right there with him, putting foot to the floor. Can he stay with that monstrous S14 of Ahmed the Ham? The RB25 screaming at Chris Brady as both guys come through the tight wall. Chris Brady making a huge line now, trying to get that car up by the Ham's door. The Ham carrying a massive angle around that bottom corner as the transition for the last time. Proximity set in, and the Ham is just leaving Chris Brady sitting as they come around the last corner and over the finish line. Here we go. Huge traffic light goes green. Chris Brady the lead. Ahmed the Ham the chase. Both guys coming down the straight, tearing in. Chris Brady throws it in nice and deep, looking at the white line, putting the foot down. Ahmed the Ham's right there with him though as he's knocking on the door of Chris Brady as they come through that inner clip. The Ham getting lost in Brady's smoke, not sure what happened there. It was just as our camera flicked as we see the Ham now close the track a small bit just to get the proximity back on Chris Brady's door as they flick. Brady putting the back of that skyline right on the wall, foot to floor, hugging that outer line, coming across the finish line. The Ham's right with him. That was a good run from nearly 1,000 braking the Ham to 600 braking Chris Brady. Seeing Chris Brady creeping up off the start line, trying to get every bit of advantage to stick with the Ham. The both guys throw it in now. The Ham just the floor and look at Chris Brady. Chris Brady's right there with him now, sticking it on the door of Ahmed the Ham as they come through the first corner, the first inner clip. Flick back now, the Ham on the lovely line. Chris Brady just starting to fall back. His car of Ahmed the Ham as they transition back for the last time around the last trip. The Ham now pulling a spot approximately over the finish line. That was not a bad run. His team and Ahmed the Ham leaves the line, which means Chris Brady will bow out. Ahmed the Ham move on to the 28th. Brady. Phone calls at 7 o'clock in the morning Irish time saying, hey, are you awake by any chance? We need your help.
But that R32 is singing. Listen to the RB screaming as Chris Brady throws it in for his first qualifying run. Getting lovely and wide as Chris Brady bringing it around now, putting foot to floor, absolutely smoking this Muscat Drift Arena out of it. And look at this from Chris Brady, the absolute bravery of putting that front bumper on the wall as we see him now filling outer zone 2 as he comes back around the transition for the wall run for the second time. The Irishman showing no fear of them concrete walls, putting foot to floor. This is not a bad run from Chris Brady, especially after the morning he had. He's only had 2 runs in practice and he was happy after that said. So yeah, Chris Brady leaves the line, screams at the RB25 as he comes down the straight, big flick in, throws it in nice and wide as Chris Brady filling outer zone 2. A little bit of a wobble there, not sure what happened, but Chris doing a great job to keep the car in, puts the front bumper right on the wall, no fear of damaging that R32 Skyline, just dropping one wheel there as we see him coming around that outer zone, getting ready to flick back for the wall, lovely and deep on the wall. That was a beautiful wall run from Chris Brady as we see him now coming through the last section. Here we go, the Irishman's here to play. That car definitely looking like it has more anti-lag from Demir's GT86. RB25 versus 2J, here we go, they're coming down the straight. Look at Brady flicking it in, and Demir spins it out, nearly taking Brady out with him. Brady puts foot to floor now, bring it around. Look at this, exactly what the Irishman did in qualifying. A lovely line from Chris Brady. So we will see a huge advantage to the Irishman going into the second half of this battle. Chris, the higher qualifier, gets the lead. The little Skyline that could, hoping that RB25 will hold out for tonight, and it looks. Here we go, Demir, big flick in, Chris Brady knowing what would have happened in the first one, but Brady absolutely fearless, throwing it in behind Demir, but Demir cutting a small bit on the inside of the track. Chris Brady doing a great job to avoid. So we see that GT86, that car just does not look to be handling right. Something wrong, it's whipping around, but look at Chris Brady absolutely sticking it on the door as they come up against the outer clip. Demir now starting to pull a gap. We're blinded by the smoke, but Brady's right there with him. That was such an unbelievable shot. Brady to lead, Linus Jansu to chase. Skyline versus E92 M3. Here we go. So we see Chris Brady, lovely initiation. Linus is right there with him though. See Brady dropping away potentially around that first corner, but look at Linus Jansu as he bangs the side of the door of that R32 Skyline. Now Chris Brady keeps it going, transitions lovely. But Linus Jansu stuck on the door of Chris Brady as they transition for the last time. Beautiful lead line from Chris Brady. Can he shake off one half of the Swedish Drift Brothers as they come around the last corner? A small bit of proximity starting to form, but wow, unique what a scenarios. But yeah, 2 cars on the line and away they go. Linus Jansu to lead, Chris Brady to chase as they throw it in. Look at this beautiful initiation from both guys. Linus on a lovely lead line, but look at Chris Brady right there knocking on the door of the Swedish driver. Huge transition from the Irishman, absolutely insane, putting it right up on the door of Linus Jansu as they transition out for the last time back out to the wall. Another massive dive from Chris Brady, but Linus Jansu is on a whopper of a lead line, and look at Brady. Brady was that close, he was nearly overtaken. The traffic light is set. It goes green and away they go. Brady knows he's fast. He takes full advantage because he's able to jump the start line. But look at the speed of Ali Maxid as they come down. Brady now with a lovely initiation trying to tuck that Skyline right in beside Ali Maxid, which he does absolutely epic. Ali Maxid now on a beautiful lead line as they come through the wall. Huge dive from Chris Brady, putting the front of that 32 Skyline right on Ali Maxid's door as we see them now pushing away for the last transition. Both guys out to the wall. Ali Maxid starting to gain a small bit of proximity, but Chris Brady puts foot to floor, does absolutely anything he can to try and chase down Maxid. Wow. Light goes green, away they go. What can Maxid do in the chase? But look at Brady as he comes down now, throwing it in very hard. Chris Brady on a nice lead line, but Ali Maxid is right there with him, Chris Brady very wide, doing exactly as the judges asked, but he cannot shake off the GTA 6 of Ali Maxid as a transition for the first time. What a transition from both drivers. Ali Maxid is right there with him, knocking on Chris Brady's door as they flick back through their own smoke. Brady puts it on the wall. So much commitment, but Ali Maxid is still there with him. Bits of tyres flying off the front as they come around the last corner and over the line.